Hey, y'all. Welcome back to season 5 of the Black Woman Behold podcast.
And this year's theme is Unleashed.
This is more than a theme, it's a declaration.
We're pulling back the layers, letting go of what no longer serves us.
We're letting go of outdated roles, false narratives, unspoken rules that kept us small, and expectations we never agreed to.
And we're naming the shifts Black women can make to feel more seen, more centered, and more free.
We're reclaiming our time, our energy, and our joy. And talking about the shifts Black women can make a moment to unlearn, unravel, and unapologetically create a life that feels like yours. And because we don't just talk about it,
each episode is packed with tips, resources, and reflection prompts to help you turn insight into action
so that you can carry these conversations off the podcast and into your real life.
We're expanding and building lives that feel whole, honest, and free. We're Unleashed.
Welcome back to the Black Woman Behold podcast. We are your hosts, Ednesha, Marquia, and Kim. And we are on episode 2 for season 5, entitled Unleashing the Woman Behind the Degree. Today's episode is for the women who have been praised for their accomplishments, admired for their hustle, and buried under the weight of what she's built. The degrees, the titles, the grind, it looks good on paper, but what about the person underneath it all? So we're talking about that version of you who exists behind the resume, beyond the resume, not just behind it, but beyond it. The one who doesn't need to be validated by productivity. The one who deserves rest, softness, and love just for being. This is the woman behind the degree, and we're about to let her speak. So let me ask you this. Who are you when you close the laptop? When the inbox is ignored, when the degree is no longer the lead in your bio, when no one's clapping? This episode is for every woman who stacked degrees, titles, certifications, and applause, and still sometimes lies in bed thinking, but who am I really? And you know I'm talking to the Black girls, because you know we love a good degree, y'all. Now stop playing. Let's be honest, though. Some of us have been performing excellent since we were in matching barrettes and Sunday school shoes. Straight A's, teacher's pet, first to graduate, always doing the most. Because somewhere along the line we learned being enough required proof. And I know I was one of them. We learned to lead with our LinkedIn, hide behind our hustle, and wrap our worth in so many people we could impress, support, or save. That was me. I ain't gonna lie. We got really good at becoming someone, but not always someone whole. This episode is about releasing the grind as your identity, reclaiming joy that isn't tied to achievement. So today we're going to talk about the woman behind the degree, because you're more than your title, more than your productivity, more than your curated, well-lit, plan-to-fill, over-functioning highlight reel. We're getting raw, reflective, and maybe a little bit petty about hustle culture. So settle in, no resumes required. Let's get into it, y'all. Hey, lady, talking about some good stuff today. But before we get into our time, look, somebody's ready, okay? Somebody wasn't feeling well earlier, but I think they ready right now.
she ready.
All right now. Miss Marquia, straight off her Beyonce Cowboy Carter tour, feeling good. So what y'all think about the topic today? How are we feeling about this? The woman behind the degree.
I'm intrigued to see where the conversation goes.
Okay.
Sure.
I think this is necessary, right? Like so many of us, send our representatives out with our titles and we don't really get to know one another because if somebody asks me, oh, what you do, I don't fuck with them. Goodbye. I don't have nothing to say to you. And it's like, where's the connection at, sis? Where we at? Human to human. I don't care what you do.
I love that because I've been told by people, I've said that I don't like that question because I think it makes people figure out how to treat. Because if I say that I work at McDonald's and I say that I'm a therapist, I'm going to give two very different treatments. I truly believe, especially in the society that we live in. So I don't love that question. But I asked this to a girl one time and she told me, well, that helps me figure out how I can help you. Like as from a networking, I'm like, are we always networking? You know what I mean? Like, do I always have to be in network mode? So, and I also think that it becomes your identity. And I think that that's why when people like lose their jobs and things like that happen, it just kind of brings upon like a breakdown because it becomes so much of your identity. You don't know who you are without it. So I think it's good that we get to talk about what are the other things about ourselves, you know what I mean? And I think women have to start focusing on that too, right? Like, who are you without all of that? Because that's what a lot of people want to know.
Yep.
So, yeah, no, I'm feeling good about it. So, my other question is, since this season is all about unleashing, what are you unleashing this week? Who's unleashing something on something? Somebody, something, what?
You go first, Kim.
Oh, okay. Hey, I am unleashing the need to be in control. Shit, you can't
Oh,
control nothing, no matter how much you want to. That's it. Just letting it happen, whatever it
okay.
may be, and figuring out how to navigate it mentally. Because sometimes you got to look at it in a different light in order for you to manage it. Not
Oh,
necessarily control it, because you can't do anything about it. So there's that.
Pardon me, y'all. I don't feel well this week, but as far as what I'm unleashing, I don't even think I have the capacity to unleash anything right now. I'm just trying to survive. So right now, I'm just trying to make it through the next couple weeks. I have a lot happening work-wise and stuff like that. So just trying to stay above ground is what I got for this week.
all right. You know what? Some weeks we got it, some weeks we don't. I think I'm unleashing a can of whip ass in my head on the Trump
Okay.
administration. Okay. And I'm not going to get too political, y'all. I just want y'all to know. But there was a program for seniors that gave them free Wi Fi. My daddy is 84. He had free Wi Fi. I didn't have to worry about Wi Fi. He calls me the other day, baby, my TV not working. Well, daddy, why your TV not working? I can't get none of the channels. I can't get nothing. I'm like, what's wrong? So I'm trying to deal with it over the phone. It's not working. I go to his house. He don't got no Wi-Fi no more. I'm
Mm.
like, what? What happened? So then I do a little research and there's no more Wi-Fi for the senior. So
Gone.
now I'm out here struggling trying to figure out where I could get $30, $40 Wi-Fi for dad. You know what?
Hmm.
That's just one more thing on my to-do list that I didn't want to have to deal with this week. That's why I'm mad. That's what I'm unleashing on right now.
Hmm.
Like, do
Hmm.
y'all got to get rid of every program that help people? Like, can we
You
help
know,
someone other than the rich? That's all I
I
want to
think people don't
know.
even realize how many things are built into already supporting them in services because they're just, they're there. So
Yeah.
this is gonna get wild, real wild.
So now I'm out here looking for all types of services and all types of assistance. And listen, do I mind paying for it? No. But that's just one extra bill for me. And that's one or two extra calls I gotta make and get the people over there to set it up. And so
Yeah,
yeah, I'm just a mad rapper right now, y'all. That's all. I just want to keep it real.
I hear that.
So if you want more support, definitely use our Hey Sis, Are You Okay workbook, especially the section on boundaries and values. If you don't have a workbook, you can get it now at blackwomanbehold.com/store. So if y'all out here and y'all don't have y'all book, go out and get it. Look at the section around boundaries and values. I think it'll definitely be supportive as you continue to listen to this episode. All right, ladies, I got some questions as usual.
Questions,
Questions.
questions.
All right, Marquia, you up? This ain't the best day, but we got you. Keep you in our thoughts and our prayers. That's what Americans do. So here we go. Who taught you? Who taught you that your worth was tied to achievements?
I mean, I think in general, isn't it how we're conditioned as a society, right? Like,
Well, especially our society, yeah.
so independent of like who, I think that's just always the messaging. If you are successful at X, then, Y will follow. So I think that that's just always been the thought. Like even like think about like when you're like in first grade, kindergarten, you get a spelling test and you get 100, you get a sticker. If you don't get a sticker, it's because you didn't do a good job. So I just feel like it's ingrained in every piece of at least American society. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, so I think it was just always the default messaging. I don't even think it starts in the home in all honesty. Like anything you watch on TV, anything, like it's just everywhere. So I think it's just the expectation, and then you add in the black to it, and you're always taught that, like, you have to be twice as good to get half as much. So the messaging is just you just have to go, go, go and be the best, regardless of what you have going on with you.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to get that little star. I know y'all remember those little silver stars, the gold stars. I was like, yo, I was fiending for a star when I was little. Please put a star on my paper. Let me feel special.
See?
You're
I
right.
think,
It's ingrained.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Marquia. I think that's pretty much where it came from. Just like you know, this is America. Capitalism tells you, yo, you don't work, you don't eat. You don't do this, you don't get that. I mean, I think that's very evident what we're experiencing now. A lot of people, and you get vilified if called lazy or this or that. So it's punitive too, which I think is really wild. And it disregards a lot of folks, when I think about people who just can't get rights, people who are, just not able, capable, and that, in whatever shape or form, and how does that impact you when you're not achieving? I saw this thing that said, let's talk about the pipeline from gifted and talented to like, um, to messed up, like just kind of like people like they want a gifted and talented program, they're a mess now, so let's talk about those things because I think that's important too, the impact of it.
I remember thinking I was better than you because I was talented and gifted. I ain't gonna front.
Mm.
Like, word up.
It
I
was
thought I
always a
was the
scam.
shit.
A whole scam.
I just thought I was the shit. And it was like if you wasn't talented and gifted in fifth grade and then you ain't make it in sixth grade, it was like a fall from grace, yo. It's like, well, what happened? You used to be down with TNG. Like, where you at now, kid? Yeah,
You
it
know
was
what
bad.
TNG? Yeah,
It
you
was
know
TNG,
me.
yo. Okay, so funny story. Like maybe a good 8 years ago, I had my sixth grade talented and gifted class. We had a reunion, y'all, with our teacher at the Aloft in Harlem. Okay. We had a whole reunion. And it was like, what y'all doing with y'all life now? Are you winning? Where you at now? We was in TNG. Did you fall, hop off, or did you fall? Like now it's bad. Like it was so serious. I was like, are we really getting together with our sixth grade talented and gifted class? Were you y'all doing the most? But I'm here for it. Fuck it. People took these things very seriously, y'all.
Show did.
All right. So was there a moment when the degrees, the titles, or the success didn't feel like enough? And what did you do with that feeling? I think that's an interesting one.
Hmm. I mean, I feel like going back to my initial example, right? Like it's never enough. Like, right? The goal is always we're all chasing like I just want to have enough money to do X or I just want to be comfortable. But like the goalpost is constantly moving, especially like as a millennial. Like, ooh, they showed us a pipe dream, baby. Like, oh, you go to school, you do this, you're gonna get a house, you're gonna have all the resources that you need. And none of that is true. So it's like just constantly working and working and working to achieve what exactly? I mean, I guess like not be homeless, but I don't know.
That's the bottom of the
Damn,
barrel. You like, wow. Ooh.
is that what we aiming for these days?
But I mean, like
Damn.
for like my generation and my
Okay.
peers, like that's
Hmm.
where people are. Generally speaking, people are working just to be able to have a place to live. Like, and that's it. Like, enjoying life is not necessarily the thing because it's just not an option because student loans are still a thing sometimes part-time. Now it's back. I don't know. Like you want us to pay student loans. You want us to, try to buy houses. You want us to have places to rent. Rent is out the ass. Like it's just like you did all of this. I went to a new Ivy League school. I went to one of the top engineering schools in the country. For what?
Mm.
Right, right. And when you think about that, what is this worth? This mounting debt and all this other stuff. There was a moment, I think, when the degree, the title didn't feel like enough because it didn't get you anywhere.
Right.
Right? You're like, I'm
Yeah.
supposed to get this. What the hell? Like, I did all of this. Now what? You have people who are like, I got a degree. Like, what the fuck am I doing here doing this, below my level kind of work, which in and of itself is a thing. But, you expected to get the rewards based on the accomplishments they tell you. And I think that's really something that out in the work world is very subjective. I know someone who had the title, the experience, everything, and found out the person that was her junior. was making more than her. And you're like, well, wait a minute. What's going on here? So there's a lot of gaslighting that happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the money doesn't always come with the title, you know, or the accomplishments or the degrees. And I think that's the harder thing, especially in our society. I think after I became a therapist, and this was my second career, so I felt like, I've arrived, kind of, I had pivoted careers, I got some letters behind my name. I was doing something that I loved, but like there was still something missing. And that's when I realized I was so focused on kind of becoming this person that like, where the money at? I was like, hold up. I done went to NYU, had a bunch of good old loans. All of these things are supposed to matter, but like the money didn't come with it. And I think it becomes really hard when it felt like it wasn't enough. Like I also needed that money. Like I needed to feel like I could really take care of myself. And my first job after getting a master's degree from NYU was $54,000 a year. I was like, are y'all kidding me? So, when I think about what do I do with that feeling, like it was a lot of disappointment. It was a lot of frustration. And I guess in some ways I can't say I didn't know, because I kind of knew. I knew, but you always maybe sometimes think that, you know what, I'm gonna be different. And I am, but it took years to be different, right? Like it's like having that degree, having that title, it really didn't matter because I couldn't afford things that I could afford when I didn't have it, you know? So I think I used to be in sales. I made more money back then. So I
Right.
think that when you have that letdown, right, of I'm going this extra mile, I'm getting this extra degree, these extra credentials, and then it's like, yes, I could do it for the love of education, right? Because that's a huge one. I love to learn. So I'm all good with that. But my issue is that when I do all of that and then y'all don't pay me right, I think that can hurt. And that happens to a lot of people. I had a client, she was finishing up her PhD and they offered her a job for $60,000 a year, y'all.
Right.
And that shit feels like a slap in the face, literally.
That's not the cost of the degree.
Right. That's right. That's not even the cost of the degree. So now where do we go from here? I think that becomes really interesting in this society, right? Who they decide to pay. Teachers, they all got master's degree. They get paid shitty in our society. No offense, a plumber, he's going to get paid more. He has less education, and there's nothing wrong with being a plumber. I want to be clear about that right now. I'm just saying it. However, they keep pushing higher education on us.
Right.
What
At
when in
what cost?
actuality, people in non-traditional employment they
Making
use
more
math.
money.
Right, but they use math. They use a lot of things to do their job, to problem solve. The way they're taught is about problem solving, diagnosing and solving problems. We're just taught kind of like theory and things at some point in time. If I look at that.
Well, it also depends what you get your degrees in, right? Like, I think that an undergraduate degree from a liberal arts school is definitely straight up theory because that's where I went, right? And that's where you and Kim. But Marquia, at an engineering school, was it different for you? I wonder.
As far as, I mean, I have a business degree, so I'm already like, quote unquote, like not the demographic for my school I went to,
Oh,
but
okay, got it, got it. Okay. Well, I was thinking, is it more than just theory, right? Like, is it some actual stuff that you can kind of use when you get out in the world?
I mean, like, yeah, I use my marketing stuff now, right?
Okay.
But I mean, like, a lot of the stuff that I do within the work that I currently am in is based on what I've done at work, like based on past experiences. So it's just a accumulation of the skills I had. I wouldn't say in all honesty, I probably don't even need the degree I have to do the work that I do, if I'm being
Right.
honest. Unfortunately. So that's the thing. And that's the scam. Everyone should just get a trade. You'll be better served for it. You can actually do shit.
Yo, people gonna come out of high school and be like, "Give me a certificate." What is certificates at, yo?
You can literally get a Google
Yo,
certificate on Coursera and be a project manager.
it's crazy. Yeah. And now, colleges are upwards of $90,000 a year. So
Right.
we do have to
Mm.
start thinking differently about whether or not that degree is worth it. And I'm wondering, is it the degree or the fact that you have it and you can say that you have it is really what people are paying for sometimes? Is it kind of like the clout in some way, you know?
It's because jobs are requiring degrees to work as cashiers now. So
Which is
you
wild.
need the paper to just get access to capital.
To get in the door, right?
Yep. So it's like they kind of have people over a barrel until Gen Z rises up and is like, we're not doing this anymore. Come
Come
on, Gen
on,
Z, we're
Gen
waiting on
Z.
y'all.
Okay. All right. Come on. Come through. Give it up.
Oh, and they're gonna act a fool too when they do it.
I want them
Absolutely.
to.
They're like, no, this is toxic.
What about my
Like,
mental health? They're like, not me.
and I love that about them. Like, I really do. I respect them so much for that. Like, don't do it the way that everybody else has done it if it doesn't work for you. So go
But they
them.
are getting a bad rap around like not working. I
But is
will say
it,
that.
but that's also like gaslighting. That's just like when you go into the office and a white woman is like, oh, you just feel like you're not very social. I just feel like it's like, girl, I'm just doing my job and I don't want to be your friend. So now you're trying to weaponize that and make me out to be the bad guy. So I feel like it's the same thing that they're doing with Gen Z. Like you're upset because you didn't have the balls to not let somebody treat you bad. Like you said no, like you didn't do it. So you're in your feelings about that. So you're gonna say that they're lazy. No, they just don't they don't want to do it. And
Yeah, I would
and we
have
don't want
to
to do it
agree with that.
either. Like shit,
But
we
we
don't want
just
to do
didn't
it
have the
either.
balls to say it.
Right. That's that authoritarian thing. We just say yes, regardless.
They're like, if
Right.
the hours is 9 to 5, I'm out of here at 5. Don't
Right.
send me an email at 4:58 because it's not getting answered until tomorrow.
Exactly.
They got boundaries that we didn't even know existed.
Yeah. So people are like, oh, they're lazy. No, they are not doormats. They're like, I'm not doing this. Now, granted, there are two sides to every coin. So you could very well do that, girl. And if people are now quote unquote labeling you as difficult, start your own business. But also, like, you just have to, know that there's that's not the audience for the type of work style that you have. And either the jobs are going to shift to accommodate because they need the young people in the workforce, or they're just going to make their own ways of work, i.e., influencing and such, to make it happen.
Right? I ain't mad at them. I think a lot of us wish we had the balls that they had. Which I could use another word for balls than balls, but like I think that a lot of us wish that we had the courage. I think that's what it really comes down to, that they have. And so I think that's why a lot of people are pissed off with them.
They some haters. Do your
Hmm.
thing, Gen Z. Fuck them people.
Right.
I'd hire you.
Hello. They were like, does this need to be an hour? It could have been 10 minutes. You're right.
Literally. Listen, they like to keep their time for themselves, whatever that looks like, scrolling on TikTok, whatever they're doing. But you are very clear on what is a yes and what is a no.
Yeah.
Love
And I
it.
love that.
Love it.
So we're talking about accomplishment and titles and degrees. Like, what are some ways we hide behind our accomplishments, you think?
I think that a lot of us use titles to gatekeep
Mm-hmm.
spaces, right? Like, oh no, you don't have this, so you can't be in this space with me. Wait a minute. How you there and you don't bring anybody else with you or you close the door behind you? What are you doing? I find that to be very I don't know if I'm answering the question, but that's what came out.
Okay. All
We
right.
have a like that's oh, maybe not, but that's where I went. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't know if I answered
Okay.
it, but that's my answer.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Um, hmm. I don't know. I don't really get to like hide behind anything anymore, right? Like I'm uh, full disclosure at this point in life, I'm kind of like disillusioned with a lot of my quote unquote accomplishments because it feels like the expectation, as we thought at the beginning, is achievement is rolled in with worth. So like I do things, but like that's because I have to. So is it an accomplishment or is it just like a result of doing what you're supposed to do? Like I don't know. Like I don't. I don't feel like there's anything to hide behind because I'm just doing what I have to do. I don't think executing a successful event is an accomplishment because that is what my job is to do, you know?
But is
So,
that fair though, too, to you, right? Like, or do you get to celebrate, right? Still, like, even if it's your job, is there a space where you can feel accomplished, even if you don't list it
um,
as an accomplishment?
I I don't feel that way right now, unfortunately. I
Okay.
just kind of go through the motions. It's just, a thing that you have to do. And, success is the only option. And that might sound like harsh to people listening at home. I'm like, oh, you should celebrate yourself. But it's hard when, the expectation is just produce, 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 produce. So,
Hmm.
Um, I listen, I get it. I think that for me, I think we talk about the hustle more than the heartbreak, right? Like we always are trying to kind of big up the accomplishments, but we don't talk about how hard it was. I can get them, right? Like we
right,
use the calendars as our shield, like, oh, I'm booked and busy. So we don't have to talk about, for some of us, we feel lonely and lost, right? Because that's all we have, right? Being a therapist all these years, I talked to so many people that work is all they have. That's where their ego strength comes from, right? And so, like, when we are in session, that's all we talk about is work, 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 work. But we're not talking about the fact that I would really love to be in a relationship, but I can't, I don't know how to do nothing but focus on work. Or like,
right,
I don't really know how to be a good friend because like I'm always at work. So everything goes back to kind of this career, this thing that you've tried to curate. And when it's not working, you don't talk about that, like, I want more. All you talk about is, I've done this and I've done this and I've done this. We kind of curate these bios that sound amazing, but
right.
they don't really tell who you are. You know what I mean?
That's that
I
fake it till you make it shit. You're like, oh my God, I'm tired of hearing that. Because
right,
once you're
like
there, like, you done faked it this whole time. Who are you?
right. We forget that our accomplishments is just what we've done, right? But not who we are, and that's the problem. They become who we are, and so our identity is so tied up in it that that's all we have. You
Yeah, I
know.
can't stand the motherfuckers go, oh, I did this, I did that. Oh my God, I get it. Right? Like I don't want to be a hater because we gotta brag on ourselves. We talk about that
Mm-hmm.
and we talk and the way the world works, right? Like if you
Right.
don't talk yourself up, you get looked over, passed over. So I get it. At the same time, it doesn't feel authentic because it's like, those are the only things you talk about. You distill yourself down to these kind of things versus a full person. And so, right now, I only know you from your
Right.
work, but I don't know you.
Right.
Right. What you've done and who you are, they not the same thing. But I think that the accomplishments become like your armor. You know what I mean? Like to protect you from everything else. Like I don't have to deal with that because I got this, I got that, I got this. And I can't really talk to people like that. Because I'm more interested in who you are. It's not just what you've done.
Hmm.
And I don't know if people have really tapped into who they are. Because they've been tapping so far into who they want to be or who they want the perception of them to be, how people to view them.
But also, people don't like to sit alone with their thoughts either. People
Oh,
don't
hell no.
Mm.
like. I have a friend that I remember I would always be like, you should take an edible. And he was like, you want me to sit alone with my thoughts by myself? He was like, absolutely not. That sounds terrifying. And I said, what about sitting with yourself is terrifying? And he was like, I just can't do that. He's like, I don't know how you just like sit by yourself sometimes or like you don't talk to people at times. And I was like, yeah, because I like to reflect inward. I don't necessarily need external validation. The external is too noisy for me personally. But for some people, that outside hustle and bustle and external validation and look at me and my accomplishments is how they feel okay because they don't want to deal with whatever is going on the inside that they're not proud about or they're unhappy about.
Yeah, it's rough to sitting alone with the thoughts. That's why the pandemic was so hard. We couldn't run from our thoughts. That was one moment was like, I can't run from them. I can't go shopping. I can't go, on this trip. I can't go to the bar tonight. Like all the things that
Right,
we used to do. It was like, oh, it's you and your thoughts.
right.
That
It's
taking inventory of your life is rough for some people.
Hello.
Shit, rough.
Because what do you
Um,
mean? Like again, because if you can't quantify exclusively in your accomplishments, for some people that's not enough. So,
yeah.
Mm. Yeah, those
Um,
people with them long ass bios, awards, this and that. You like, this bio is 2 pages long. Enough already. Come on.
they gotta flip while
especially,
they're reading it.
Right,
especially
where?
when you go to an award show, and I'm like, listen, I want to give everybody their props, but it's like, where is the short in bio? Who the fuck sent this? Whose
Uh,
assistant? Who sent this over? The full 2 pages. I didn't ask for this. Give me a couple highlights and let's move on. I promise you, you
like
go to
you
an
know
award
what it
show and
is.
they is just like laying it on thick. And I'm just like, okay. I like, do I even want to meet? Do I need you to get up and talk? I know everything about you. Take your award and go, ma'am. Take your award and keep it pushing.
Get out of here. Go and get.
Right. So, so have you ever felt scared to stop like striving? Like if you slow down, you'll lose your value.
Value, I don't know. Again, I think it's a matter again the produce thing, right? Produce, produce, produce. I'm not
Right.
producing. What am I doing?
Right.
So, I'm currently in the situation with my business and trying to figure out balance of like what's too much and what is too heavy. And, you want to say yes and you want to do a good job and you want to diversify what you're offering to clients and the type of clients you have, but also like, is it okay to say, no, I don't want to do this anymore? This project isn't in alignment with what I thought it was going to be. And are you okay with disappointing people? Like it's a lot of nuance. So for me, it's not, it's just always just like a matter of like quality of product because again, produce, produce, produce. So if I do X, how is it going to impact the quality of the product and potential referrals and other business in the future? So that's kind of how I quantify it right now. It's just a matter of like the health of the business, I guess.
Yeah, I get that. Um, I think I feel that, especially since I'm in my second career. I felt like I
Hmm.
always had to play catch up and kind of prove that I kind of belonged in this new area. And I don't think people talk enough about how it feels to learn something new, you know, when you had already learned something, right? And you have been doing it as a career, and now you
Hmm.
try something new and like you're at that beginner stage again, like you're a novice again. And that shit is like, yo, this is rough. Cause then you look at your age or whatever and you're like, I should know this. Well, no, you shouldn't. This is something new that you're learning again. I think that's why it's so hard for people to decide to do a second career, because that fear of starting over.
Hmm.
Um, and I think, as a Black woman, there's always the extra layer. Like I already feel like I'm behind regardless, right? In some way that society has pushed me back. So now it's like I gotta really, really catch up. Yeah, it feels scary. Like I can't slow down. I'm running out of time, especially as I age, right? Like I feel like there's a space where I feel like I'm running out of time. I don't think that because of the type of work that I do as a therapist, I don't feel like someone's gonna take my place, like maybe in corporate America would be, you know. But
Hmm.
it's like, can I get some rest? Or is that going to be a risk? Right?
Right.
Like if you slow
Mm.
down and I'm
Yeah.
not seeing all the clients and then they go see somebody else because I needed like 2 weeks off. I feel like it's always a fear of being replaced with whatever you do in some way. And
Hmm.
I think that that's how society has set it up for Americans. You know, that's why most of us don't take our vacation days. You know what I mean? We don't take our sick days. There's always a fear of replacement. And also, they've shown us that that's a real thing.
Right.
Like
Oh,
they'll
they
get rid
really
of your
out
ass
here.
and put somebody
Yes.
right in there. I think it was
Yep.
a girl a couple of years ago, not too long ago, like she died at her desk. Do y'all remember that?
Yep.
And like it took like the weekend or something for them to figure out that she was there dead. Like, God damn. So it's just all of, that kind of fear of like being replaced. So it
Well,
does feel like
look at
I
that
can't stop
dude. Look
striving.
at that dude. The head of the insurance company. They went and had a meeting. They was like, we got to find a replacement immediately. Y'all
The
stepped
one who was
over a
killed?
man. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Right? Like they'll chew you up, spit you out, not care. The machine needs to be fed.
Yeah.
You know. So it's interesting. I thought about this question in a different way.
Hmm.
And I think it's mostly because like if I am in an environment where I really am passionate about something or like I'm excited about it,
Mm-hmm.
striving just means like I'm constantly coming up with things and ideas because, oh, another way to make it like this, that, or whatever. Like I'm
Right.
constantly dreaming about things. But if I'm not excited about it, it's just some work shit. It's hard. It's rough. It feels like I'm definitely, clawing my way to stay, in this space or so I think it's really about like the space for me cuz I don't think of it as striving like if like this business I've thought about 100 ideas and I've told y'all about them like oh we're going to do this we're going to do that. Oh I want to do this like cuz it's tied to how the impact
Mm-hmm.
right and so I even thought of another idea the other day and I kept it quiet cuz it was like you know what girl stop slow down but like I can't if I'm excited or passionate about something, it's constantly, you know. But if I'm not, oh, it's a struggle. The struggle bus is real. Okay. What they said, done deal records, like, oh, I can't
Oh,
take it.
damn.
Like that's it.
You funny. I done deal records. So Kim, we'll start with you. What part of you feels the most alive when you're not working or producing anything?
I think when I'm spending time with people, I'm a people person. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an extrovert. It's proven. I go outside till 4 a.m. because there's people there. Ah, it only needs to be one, but if it's a lot more, it's like feed me. I feel like I've been feeding off of people's energy, like, woo, give me more party. So, it's like supercharge me. So I think anything that has like a, group element,
Mm-hmm.
outside partying, I'm looking forward to summer. I love summer because there's always something going on. I just roll up on something and then I'm here. So I think things like that, right? But I also like, spending one-on-one time with someone. Like I can do that very well. Shout out to my friend Moss. I co-work at his space on Wednesdays. We spent 11 hours together, and I was like, "What? What the
I
hell?"
must really like you.
Right? But we were talking about how like it's easy
Well,
like
Right.
right.
like with each other and he was like you're easy like he said I have difficult friends I think I'm an easy person like people can spend a whole day with me and it will okay we'll have a moment but we're not gonna have bad moments we're gonna have mostly
Right.
good right because that's how I like to show up when I'm with people or that's the kind of good time I want.
I love that.
Right.
I would have to agree. Like I feel most alive when I'm with people, but also when I'm doing something new. I've learned that I'm an activity girl. I'm not interested in dinner no more. You could keep your dinner. You could probably almost keep your brunch too. Like, what are we doing?
Not the
Like,
sacred brunch
Yeah.
girl what.
Anti-brunch
yo,
is crazy.
Yeah.
listen, I need us to like be engaging in something because if I have to wait on you to talk with me, I got a problem because I'm realizing that there are times I'm around people who don't really talk that much. And when I say that much, they're really surface. And I'm at the point in my life that like surface just does not work for me, y'all. Like I'm actually annoyed by you if you're fucking surface. Like, get out my face. Like, I don't want to see you, right? Like, give me more. Tell me what's really going on in your life. Tell me what you really want to do, what you're excited about. Like, give me something to work with over here. So that's why I'm like, I don't want to go to dinner. You know what? Recently, I flipped on my siblings at dinner for Mother's Day. It was me and my three sisters and my mother. And, I'm talking to them about the podcast and all these things I got going on, and everybody in their phone. I said, listen, I'm not coming back to dinner if y'all gonna be in your phone. I'm not spending my money with you if you're not gonna engage with me. So that's why I'd rather have some type of activity where something's going on, we're laughing, I'm either learning something, I'm getting better at something, or I'm just goofing off, whatever it is. But like I need more from people and so like, yeah, we got an activity, y'all. Like that's it. And
Yeah.
I don't even need to do it with people that I know. Because this year I told y'all, I think I told y'all, I don't know, probably last season, I don't know. That I'm doing something new every month. I went to a cake decorating class by myself. I was at belly dancing by myself. And I just met people and I laughed and I had a good time and I laughed at me. And so like I'm just looking for engagement, I think. That's what I like. I like learning new things and I like engaging with other people. That's what I need to feel alive. That was a lot.
Okay.
Marquia.
Well,
No more dinners. Done.
not you talking about brunch, girl. What?
What? I'm
I
gonna sit
love
next to the
brunch.
person who don't want to talk about shit. I'm gonna be mad.
Oh, I go to brunches where there's DJs, so I mean, I'm a live music person. I'm
I
a
like that.
take me to the beach person. Being out with select people, I enjoy that. I don't enjoy being out with everyone. But I also enjoy just connecting like with my people. Like I have a friend that calls me every day on her drive home from work, and like that's always a good time. Well, it's a time. Sometimes, we talk about things that are a little serious and like, not great, but it's nice to just have that, connection point. But for me, like I'm happiest when I'm on a beach by myself, watching the waves, listening to music. Because I just have
That's
a very
true.
people-facing job, so it's too
Right.
much to like also choose to like kick it with people when I have time not to.
I get that.
Right.
Right.
The
No, I
introverts and the
get it.
extroverts, right? Like you like the battery. If here's your dollar, does your dollar turn into $2 or does your dollar turn into 50 cents at the
Right,
because you spent it all. That's it.
right.
I
Yeah.
think I need engaging because I talk and listen for a living, but I don't talk about myself, right? Or I don't get to engage like in that way. So I want to then actually engage with people, right? Where we're just kind of talking about a little bit of everything. When I'm in session with a person, that's just really different. And so I'm people facing all day. So I think that there are moments when I feel alive when I'm just alone too. I'm one of seven, but I'm learning to be alone these days. It's kind of cool. I
Peaceful
ain't
that
really
way.
mad about it.
Mm. Do
That's different
both.
for me.
Do both.
Yeah, yeah. I ain't
Both
gonna
of them.
lie. Both, not both, both. Yeah. I was on the train the other day, just happy, and I just was listening to music, and I just felt like light and happy, and people just looking at me, and I started talking to these people on the train that weren't from here. They were from like England or something. It was like, oh, okay, Woody, what are you doing? I'm just in a great mood. So I'm like, oh my God. Where you guys from? What brought you to New York? And people looking at me like, girl, why are you talking to these people that you don't know?
Well, normally when that happens, it's usually like, okay, mental illness on the train, y'all. Watch out. Come on now. So it's it
Oh,
it it looks like something negative or right in just the doing in the connecting piece because people don't do it.
you're
That's the
right.
wild part,
Right. Right.
you know. That's
People
wild.
don't want to connect, actually. There was a study done in Chicago where there were people who were asked to start conversations with other people on the train in Chicago. And like 50% of more than 50% of the people were like, this is not going to work. I don't want to talk to anyone. This is stupid. They all thought they were going to have a bad. However, once it was done, like 70% of the people was like, oh my God, that was really cool. Like I learned so much about this person. It was really nice to have someone to talk to. So I think it's interesting that sometimes we fear what we don't know. We have all these preconceived notions about what it is to engage with people. And most of the time, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
so I have one more question for y'all. If no one could ever see your resume again, who would you be proud to be? Excuse me. Who would you be proud to be? Like, what is it about you that you would be proud of if you couldn't show your resume?
I don't know. I mean, I actually think I'm a pretty decent person, so I don't know. I guess if you know me, you know all the things. Like I'm not going to advertise all my great qualities outside of work on this podcast. I don't need people grifting trying to be my friend. But,
Hmm.
but I'm pretty decent. Like I try to be, honest and have integrity and all that good stuff. So, you know, I prefer to lead with those things anyway, and I try to incorporate it in the work that I do. So I feel like it's kind of all in the same bundle and package.
Okay, I like that. I think that I'm proud to be a good friend. I'm proud to be a sister who shows up because I'm an older sister and a younger sister both, but I'm proud of that since there's so many siblings. Um, I think I'm also proud to be someone who tells the truth about their healing, like when I talk to people about like the infertility journey and all of these things, like I love that I'm open about those things because I never know who can learn from my story. And so I'm grateful that I'm open to telling it. So I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of making people feel seen and safe. I think professionally and personally. And I don't think that my resume can capture those things. So yeah, those are some things I'm proud of.
I love that. I love both of those answers. I proud to be fun. Like,
Come on,
we
I'm
need
still
good
fun.
times.
I'm
We
still
need good
fun.
times. We need to be able to laugh, enjoy ourselves, be a little wild. I don't know, something in me, I'm always like, let's go wreak some havoc. Like, what the hell are we doing here being boring? Being like boring, and that doesn't mean introvert versus extrovert. Boring is a very specific kind of thing to me. Like, I can have fun with anybody. But like boring is like you don't want to, talk about anything. You don't want to like try something. You don't want to, let's go walk and explore. Like, damn, what are we doing here? So I'll just leave it at that. I'm proud to be fun. And if you know, you definitely know.
Okay. So, okay, that was a lot today, y'all. Like I'm so proud of us. We was really talking today. Like we had a lot to say, but I also think it was necessary. So I do think it was a good conversation. Um, 'Cause I think the truth is we've been performing for so long. We almost forget who we were before all of the applause. But I think the applause, like you said, Marquia, earlier, it started so early. So I don't even know if we knew who we were before the applause, right? Because the applause started in like kindergarten or before that. So I think it's like something that we're always kind of dealing with. But I definitely don't think this conversation is also about like shaming anybody's hustle, right? And separating your identity from it. Because I do think your hustle and your accomplishments are part of the identity. I just don't think that it's all of it. I do think it's about remembering that your value didn't start with a degree or the things that you can do for others and how productive that you are. And it doesn't end there. It didn't start there and it doesn't end there. But before we wrap up, I want to have a little fun, y'all. So there's this game I came up with. It's called Burn the Bio. So I want you to imagine if you had to introduce yourself without mentioning your work, your degrees, your credentials, your achievements, none of that shit, right? So I just want you to talk about like joy, your personality, your lived experience, like anything like that. So Kim, you up first. What's up? We
Hi,
burning the bio.
friends. My name is Kim. I love to read. I love music. I love to be outside. And I want you to come outside with me and have a good time too. Let's go wreak some havoc on these people and go have some fun.
All right. I'm gonna save you for last. Okay. Oh, you ready, Marquia?
Oh, you can go ahead. It's fine.
Okay, so I'm Anisha, and I love visiting national parks. I like talking to random people on the train, the bus, the grocery store, wherever I'm at. And I don't mind shitting in public bathrooms. Yeah, I added that
What?
one because
What?
I think that says a lot about who I
Ah,
am. I'm very
ah.
carefree. I'm very spontaneous. I
I
think if you
need
shit in
that
a public bathroom, you need to
correlation.
be adventurous, right? You know,
Markia,
I
please come in
I
on this, please.
um trying to really give you guys the essence of me, and
The
so
shit essence? Like I'm
I
confused. Like
all of
I'm
it.
in.
I listen. I never forget. I got a funny story, real quick. I think it was like me and my husband's maybe we were in like the fourth or fifth month of dating. We decided to go to DC for the weekend to see the monuments. We out seeing the monuments, and listen, I got to shit. It's crazy. Like I gotta go. Yo, he stood outside the bathroom for like a half an hour, and I know he was looking like a perv. Like, why are you in front of the women's bathroom just standing here, kid? I felt so bad for him, but
Oh
I was
God.
blowing the joint up, It was like Dumb and Dumber. I know y'all saw the movie and the scene when he was in the bathroom, he was holding on. And
Hmm.
I
I
can't.
was,
I
every time I
cannot.
thought I was done, I wasn't.
What you had,
And I,
dairy?
yo, I don't know
Mexican?
what it was. Back then, I
Stop
wasn't
it.
lactose intolerant yet. Yo,
Oh,
that was
she
years
claiming
ago.
it. Yeah.
That was like 13 years ago. But I felt so bad because then I was like, you know what? He needs to see the real me. Fuck that shit. I'm not gonna feel bad. I'm not gonna be embarrassed. I'm gonna go out there, and when he look at me and be like, "Oh wow, you were going a while," I'm gonna be like, "I had diarrhea, but
Ah.
I feel better now. Are you good? You ready to go?" That's it. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, so what happened though? Because I don't know if did that actually happen? Because what? That
No,
was a
that
crazy
happened.
story.
Right
Okay.
now, it was at the monuments.
You
No
said I had
bullshit.
diarrhea, and he
I
was like,
had
all right,
diarrhea.
okay.
And he was like, "Are you okay? You need to go
He
back to the
must really
hotel."
like you.
And I was like, "Nah, we could keep rolling. We could go out." I think he was looking because now that I know him
Ah.
more, he's a very clean person. So I know he was looking at me like, "You probably need a shower." And I was like, "Well, wipe, I'm good. We can go to the next place. I'll deal with that later."
Oh, you're really unleashing right now. Okay.
We unleashing this season, V. That's it. This is all of me, y'all.
Ah, and you chose that aspect of the bio, which all right, I appreciate it.
That's
You know
not on the
what?
bio
That's what
or the
we do.
resume.
It said better not
No,
be.
it speaks to me as a person, not the
And you
degrees, not the
correlated it to like,
credentials.
your personality, which I thought was, this is
That's
what we do.
adventurous.
This is
I,
what
I
we
mean, when I
do.
used to go to Target, I used to shit in Target bathroom too. Walmart, like, I don't feel bad. And if you're in the next
Ah,
stall, like, oh well, I'm very comfortable like that in myself.
I hear
That's
you.
it.
Marquia, what's yours? Because
I'm Marquia. I enjoy tropical vacations and live music, and spending time with those that I care about. That's it.
love that.
Nothing too crazy, Markia. You don't want to give something. We unleashing. Is there anything you
Ah,
want to unleash? I
That
mean, you got the
that's it.
floor.
That's it.
No, not this week.
Nope, that's it.
Okay. 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 All right, y'all. It's tips and tools time. We got a couple of tips. We got a couple of tools. I'm gonna start with a tool. All right. All right, ladies out there listening, and also the men and whoever else is out here listening. No resume introductions. All right. We got an exercise for you. At the next gathering is about to be summer. The next time you go out, introduce yourself without naming your job, your title, or your credentials. All right, y'all. Start with how you feel or what you're learning about yourself right now. Tell them something interesting about you. Don't tell them what you do, no titles, no job, none of that.
Maybe
Come
don't tell
on.
them if you're prone to diarrhea either.
Right. Like keep
Ah,
that one because it's too early. It's too
it's too
early.
early. That's month
This is the fifth
5.
season. So I felt like people, what season
Yeah,
we in? We in five, right?
we unleashing. We letting
I'm
them know.
unleashing. Okay. But not
Mm,
on the first one, y'all. No, no, no. Not when you first
mm.
meet somebody.
That might be too real, real, real. I think, that's so funny. Mirror talk, right? Like look in the mirror and name 3 things you love about who you are when no one's watching. And
Oh.
I think that
Mm.
helps because it allows you to, I think, be able to tell people more about yourself. Sometimes we don't even think about those things. So we caught off guard when someone wants to know who we are because the things we've been
Hmm.
practicing are not that. So,
I love that, Kim, the
yeah.
practicing. Because we don't practice that shit. So when
We
somebody
practice
asks
our
us, it's like a
elevator
curveball.
pitch. We practice
Yeah.
this. We practice that. You're like, but what? And maybe not the word practice, but it's got to be because it's like a muscle, right?
Yeah.
You can try a joy resume. Instead of giving out your career timeline, you can make a resume listing, moments and activities and memories where you felt most love, alive, or grounded, and you don't necessarily have to attach it to productivity.
I like
Yes.
that. I don't think that we do that, right? I think everything in our career always goes back to like a career timeline. I worked here and then I did this and I did this. It's like that's how we remember memories sometimes. It's like, where did I work at that time? Doing back then. So I love more about just kind of moments and memories that you have. I think I'm gonna try that one, Marquia. I like that one. Thank you. I'm doing
Mm.
a joy resume, y'all. Okay,
Hmm.
so we got some tips. So we talking about joy. I'm gonna stay on that for a second. Schedule joy, not just your goals, right? I think how do we start to put things on the calendar each week that has no outcome but pleasure, right? And I
Yeah.
think that that could be sexual pleasure. If you want to masturbate, put it on the schedule, right? If you want to hook up with
Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay.
right from 8 to 9, if you got a sneaky link that you want, put them on the schedule, y'all.
Pizza though. Pizza though. What the what? Wait. I just heard
Okay.
what you just said. What?
You got a sneaky link, put them on the schedule, right? Because this is just pleasure. Or if you want to meet up with your friend for dinner, that's very pleasurable as well. Okay. If you want, I took a cake decorating class. You want to take a cake decorating class. That's pleasurable as well. Put it on the schedule. That's where I'm going with. What y'all got? Give me some tips, y'all.
I think you want to follow at least 3 people or platforms that make you feel like you're behind. We talked about that purge. Go back to, episode 1, season 4, give you some more tips. I think because it helps your nervous system get a break, constantly consuming, trash in, trash out, that kind of thing. So we don't want that. We want you to, curate your timeline so
Come
that it's,
on.
giving you things that you need and not making you feel bad. A lot of
I
people
like
just
that.
keep consuming the thing that's harming them, So I think that's really important.
Yeah, I gotta stop watching these podcast bros. They're getting on my nerves. Like they are. This shit I gotta
Deontay
leave them
Kyle,
alone.
watch him. That's the only one y'all need to be watching.
Is that the
Grits and
grits
eggs.
guy?
Grits and
Yeah,
eggs,
yeah, yeah. I
baby.
watched the grits and eggs guy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay, we good.
And that's the only time I'll be shouting out a man on here. Done. Okay.
Damn, it's rough around here. You got
Uh,
anything else, Marquia? We good with the tips.
I think we're good with the tips.
All right. So, all right, y'all. So tag us at Black Woman Behold and introduce yourself without mentioning your degree, your credentials, or your achievements, y'all. Give me something around joy. Tell me about your personality. Tell me something cool that you like to do for fun. That's what we want to do. We want to hear from you guys. So definitely tag us at Black Woman Behold and introduce yourself without mentioning any degrees, credentialing, or achievements. All right, y'all. We've come to the end.
Awesome.
Woo!
Have a good week.
Thank y'all.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. See
Bye,
you
bye,
next
bye,
time.
bye, bye, y'all.
Thank you for listening to the Black Woman Be Whole podcast. If you want to keep up with what we're doing, you can find us on Instagram at Black Woman Be Whole, on Facebook at Black Woman Be Whole. You can even go to our website, blackwomanbewhole.com, where you can join our mailing list and you can find out what we're doing as far as events, where we'll be, if we're vending. You can also get a heads up on any information about upcoming podcasts and any product releases we're having. We appreciate you, sis. We'll see you next time.